can you paint me a picture of when you had your first period? Like, how old were you? Where were you? What were you wearing? Who was with you? Yeah, can you paint me a picture?
My first period ever.
Yeah, your first period ever.
Oh, okay. I was 11 years old. I was with my mom,
Okay.
and she showed me what should I do, like what do I do with that. Um, I guess I was wearing jeans. I don't know. So I was in form, what, 5, 6? I don't know what form is that.
Yeah, about 5, I think.
Uh,
So you're at school or were you at home?
I got it at home. At
Mhm.
first, I thought that I just thought that I hadn't cleaned my butt enough because it didn't. I didn't see the blood, but I just saw like smearing. I think it's called smearing, or like yeah, like brown
Mhm.
spots on it. I don't know. Yeah, but then I realized it's not stopping.
Yeah, and had you talked to your mum before then about periods up until that point?
No, no, I didn't know anything. That's why it was like a surprise for me.
Mhm.
I didn't know what's that.
Yeah. And then at that point, how did you feel your mum directed the conversation? Do you feel that she was open with you, or was she a bit closed off, or how would you describe how she talked to you?
She didn't really explain that, I think. Like I don't remember her explaining. She just said like well she's always very kind and sweet. So she just gave me this, what is that thing that you put in your liner or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so she just gave me that and that's it. I don't remember any conversation.
Yeah. And then how about as you grew up, like in your teenage years, was there any more conversations around it?
No, none that I remember of.
Yeah. And
Maybe she said that something, but not that I don't remember anything like that.
mhm. And then how do you think this shaped your attitude towards your menstrual cycle, like in your 20s, maybe?
Yes, there's an interesting thing which has also, I think, influenced that. It's like, uh, well, my grandma and my mom, they would never leave the liners or any tampons or anywhere. Like
Mhm.
they would hide them. So it's like, I don't. So at age 11, if I still had, so my parents divorced when I was 12, and at 11, I don't know if my dad was still there or not because they were kind of living together and separately. But anyway, that was something that was not discussed anywhere. Like nobody said anything, and so mom just gave me that thing, and that's all. And then like it was all like a secret, like something like that. So I remember at school, we could feel who has the period, like which girl has got the period. I don't know, like we could feel that. And
Mhm.
then there was one girl who had a very nice, cute little bag to carry the liners in and go to the bathroom, but everyone started laughing about her because she had the little bag.
Mhm.
And so somebody asked me, do I have the period? I said, no, 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 because I didn't want to be laughed at.
Mhm.
So it was like, I imagine it could go a different way. I think I heard it somewhere, I don't know where, on a movie or somewhere, that the family could actually celebrate
Yeah.
the woman. Yeah. So it wasn't my experience. Like it was like, don't show it, don't leave it anywhere, don't yeah, it's kind of when you put it out in the garbage, you have to really make sure it's not open, not everyone sees, like just roll it like in a sushi roll
Mhm.
and put it out. It's like all these things, and I still like, I see that other women are more comfortable with having their period stuff, like all these things exposed in their bathrooms, because it's like a natural thing for them. For me, it was like they were never exposed there, but now I've kind of, I think like personally, I'm freer about it. I think it's like there's nothing bad in that. It's like a man has his things and I have my things, and just like I feel it's okay to have them. Everyone has them, so it's a part of us, and it's a beautiful part of us, not just a part of us, but something to honor. Maybe that's how I feel now. But I wasn't definitely given that experience.
And so how did that affect your relationship with your period when you were like in your 20s, do you feel?
Well, I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't also care much about it. And so if I would have cramps or headache, I would just take ibuprofen, like a painkiller. Once it was very bad. I thought I'm gonna die because of the pain, like it was very bad. And I had to stop. I was in a workshop with my mom, and I had to stop and go home from that workshop. I don't know what happened then. And then when I was at the university, there were 3 months when I didn't have my period because of stress. So I guess like because, well, I had no information about it, like zero information basically. And so yeah, the only thing I noticed was that I'm getting more irritable before. Like
Yeah.
But so I think that's how it influenced, because I didn't know anything about it. So it's like I just kind of survived it and bore with it. No, bear bore. Yeah, I just was kind of, yeah, had to bear with it.
And what age were you when the shift happened, when you started to accept it, and then you feel okay to show, like, have the pads and the tampons out and maybe, and now talk about it on social media?
Yeah. Um, there was like well, I started this relationship that I'm currently in, and I had my period. The period started, and we were in a taxi, and I had to get those things. And I asked my boyfriend to get those, and he was really like, "What? That was the first time I asked him, but I said like, "Come on, that's like normal." Yeah. And I think that changed his attitude, and he started to buy those things as well. But I also started, I switched to the, what is it called? The moon cup, the cup. I don't know, like
Yeah,
three years ago.
okay.
But your question was, when did I start to accept it as a beautiful part of me?
Yeah, what age were you?
Well, maybe just now when I started this challenge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I haven't told you the story, but the story is pretty well. It goes well. It's a terrible story with a happy ending, luckily. But when my kid was born, I don't know what changed, but something changed. But kind of my boyfriend says it already changed when I got pregnant. So well, something changed, and I started to have anger attacks. And like not really, I don't call them panic attacks, because they were really more like anger attacks. And so when my kid was born, I was suffering from sleep deprivation, of course, and it got worse, and I had this for 4 years. So last year, October 23, it was so bad I wanted to jump out of my 7th floor. just a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it was really bad. I tried everything I could: homeopathy, acupuncture, psychology, dance therapy, and whatnot. Everything except what are they called? Antidepressants. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and nothing helped. And we tried couple therapy. Well, in the couple therapy, this therapist asked, is there a relation with your period? Is there a relation? And then I started to note it down, and I saw that there is a relation with my period when I'm getting angry.
Mm.
So every half of the month, when I would have this luteal phase, luteal, yeah, I would just want to end this relationship. I just realized how much this sucks. I don't want to be there. That's it. I'm quitting.
Mm.
And everything he would do wrong, like I would just start to scream at first. I would start to no, I would like to open a conversation. He would start to defend himself, and that would just make me angrier. And then I would just experience huge anger,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't be able to calm myself down. And then I would beat myself up for experiencing the anger
Mm.
and causing trouble, like being the perpetrator
Mm.
towards others. And then, like, slowly I started to accept that it's okay to feel the anger. So at least I didn't have the second emotion on it. So I would just, like, on the worst attacks, I would just scream and cry for 2 hours or more in the bathroom and start to pull my hair out. It was really bad. I would just enter into this tunnel state of mind where I can't get out. So, and then I started researching what should I do about it. And I found that it could be PMDD. No doctor told me it's PMDD, like this dysphoric syndrome. But I can read in English. That's the difference between me and lots of people here.
Yeah.
And so I found lots of women suffering from that, and also these suicidal thoughts that come when that can come.
Mm.
And I found one program, but I didn't try it out. And last winter, around Christmas or New Year, I had a huge attack. I was very angry. I was calling my boyfriend in bed and, like, swearing at my boyfriend in front of my kid,
Mm.
like really, like, rude words, because I couldn't control myself. And that's after that incident, I just said, okay, I'm giving up. God, I can't do it. I have tried everything. I thought I'm gonna, like, succeed at this, because I had paid a lot already to all those things I had tested out. I'm giving up. I can't do it. I
Mm.
thought it's gonna be a nice story, like, where I find the solution and can share with the whole world. And I said, no, I can't. It's like I'm giving it up. And then I found, well, she came to me as a guest to the English club, a woman who works with integral eye movement therapy.
Mm.
And in 5 sessions, she had healed so much more than all those therapies in 4.5 years.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
and she came on the same day where she came. My past life regression came to me as a student.
Mm.
And then I started working with her on the past life thing, and both of these things combined have got me to the result that I'm in today. But I still, like, yeah. So it's pretty fresh. If a year ago I couldn't control it at all, and then this in spring I kind of was already much better, because
Mm.
when she started, so last September, October, I took a psychologist, because I was really, like, trying out everything, and the psychologist said she won't work with me because she thinks I have personality disorder. That's a borderline personality disorder. And then when I found that was a hard moment for me too, because
Mhm.
I could have got it from, so I'm more prone to such mental disease because of my dad who had bipolar disorder
Mhm.
and who committed a suicide 3 4 years ago.
Oh,
So
I'm
yeah, so it's
so
like,
sorry.
so
Oh,
it's a very so just sharing so that you know like what shithole like came out of like
and only just
because
recently. Oh my God.
yeah and yeah, so it has just changed now. And when I saw my this therapist, this integral eye movement uh, therapist, she's my one of my best friends now. And she told me that when she saw me for the first time, I was like a deer in the headlights. I was like super scared, super triggered. And she said that I was the second client she thought she wouldn't be able to help at all. Oh,
Uh-huh.
heaven. Okay, and yeah, so this is the first time I can actually see it as a gift.
Mm.
And now I understand why. Because
Yeah.
it had got much calmer after I have done all this deep, very deep past life healing. But not that I can see it as a gift. And even when you sent me a message, oh, that's exciting, what's gonna come up for you? Like this has this has never been exciting. Is it irony?
Oh, wow. Thank you for trusting me and sharing your story. Like, and I just want to send you a big hug now and sending you so much love on your journey. Oh,
Thank you.
so much love.
So I think it's of utmost importance that you do, because for some people it can really save their lives. I remember one night I was just browsing for a solution, and the only medical solution that came up was to remove the uterus, I think it's called.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I was in tears. I thought like when I was ready to give it up because it's like hell. It was just hell living with it.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, but what a blessing to receive that therapist coming into your life and to receive these healings. And so in this luteal phase, because you've already been in it for around about 8 days, so none of that anger attack has come up.
Mhm. And also, but my boyfriend is super supportive now. He knows much better how to. That's why in every video I say, but he's super supportive. This is good. This is good. He
Mm,
has learned a lot. He's not triggering me so much. If he
yeah.
would still behave like he did,
Mm.
and then I
Is
don't
he
know.
the father of your child?
Yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah. Mm. And he lives with you? Yes.
yeah, we live all together. Yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. And you've been together for 7 years, is that right?
yeah. Mhm.
And he's been with you all through that. That's amazing and coming out the end. What does he say now?
Well, he says he's super proud for the changes he sees, and he's, he says it's a huge work I've done, and that he's super surprised, or like that he knows how much I've done, like how far I've come. I
Mm,
don't know. He's like he didn't expect that, but he's really like he believes it's close to a miracle, basically.
yeah. And it's like you handed it over to God, and then God said, I will look after this burden for you and put you in touch with the right people at the right time. So yeah, that's an amazing story at the end. Let's not go into the details, but at the end, like, yeah, well done, you. Well done, you. Yeah.
Exactly.
And do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Oh, you have a brother. Okay. And how old's he?
He's 1.5 years younger.
Okay. And so I guess growing up, your period, and that was probably hush hush to him as well. Like he wouldn't have known anything.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And then what do you think your mum's attitude is towards having a period? If you were to ask her, do you think?
I think it's like, well, something that just is there. I don't think she has it anymore, though. But like something you just live by. Like I don't know any knowledge that she has around it, like so deeply. No,
Mm,
because then she maybe would have been able to support me in the whole journey, but she was never pointing to the period or anything. No,
yeah. And did you ever know when she was on her period when you're growing up?
no.
No. And how would you describe your mum? Do you feel that she's like a go, go, go mum, or that she has like ebbs and flows where she can rest and go, or is she just a resting mum? Like, how would you describe her?
A workaholic.
She's a workaholic.
Yeah, it's like a constant, constantly on, and moreover multitasking, and constantly in the state of urgency. So
Mm.
that's why I talk so much about me not doing the same thing, but I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah. Do you see your mum in you? Do you see,
Yeah,
how do you say it? You and your mum?
I see. Yeah, both.
Both.
No,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I see more of her in me. Yeah. Mhm.
And do you ever see your mum do anything nice for herself? Does she ever take that time?
Um, like my first answer that came was very rarely, but like in the last, I don't know, 5 years or something, she has got better with that. She sometimes spends time with her friends, like go to a restaurant or somewhere.
Mhm.
And she goes to a hairdresser. She has her nails done, and something like that. So these things, but in general, just to have like really relax, because this is like kind of taking care of yourself, but that's not really relaxing for me.
Mm.
No, not really. No.
Mm. And when did you learn to really, be able to take care of yourself and know when to give yourself what you need? Have you figured that out yet, do you feel?
Well, now just in September, I had I felt I was again burning out,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in tears. And my boyfriend said, "Okay, Anna, you're gonna work for an hour and rest for an hour. Work for an hour and rest for an hour." And so I started to learn it better. But then again, like you noticed, I was very tired in that one particular week when my mom came as
Mm.
well. And so I felt I'm going. So I kind of felt better from these 2 weeks when I had this regimes, this 1 hour of work, 1 hour of not working. But then I kind of fell back into my normal state where I just want to work, and finish everything now, today. And then I had a conversation with my boyfriend, and he said that I have to learn to um, postpone things,
Mm.
because I really like the feeling of getting things done and taking them off my to-do list. But then I just work into very late hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is something I have to learn. And now I have a coach now with whom I'm working on that as well. But so it's very new. I'm still learning that, but I feel it's much better now, because like yesterday, I just felt I'm really tired and I went to sleep for 15 minutes during the day. And I don't want to push myself. Yeah, I don't want to push myself so much. Yeah, just can listen to it more, but I still overbook my calendar. That's
Yeah.
something I do.
If we were to describe femininity as being open and cooperative and agreeable and intuitive, creative, nurturing, going with the flow, how in touch do you feel you are in your femininity?
Yeah, I feel I'm pretty in touch now,
Mhm.
except for the things that I overbook my days.
The
Otherwise,
workaholic bit.
sorry.
The workaholic bit as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I kind of, if I ever, and the fact that I don't like that I have the fear of saying no. So, for example, today I have another meeting after this one, and then I have one workshop that I want to do, and there's one Zoom call, I promise. So it's like it's gonna end at 10, 8, 8. But I'm like, but while my feeling is that I don't want to do anything, I just want to wrap up in my blanket. So it's like this is there's a little dissonance here. But otherwise, I feel, yeah, I can follow. I don't push myself to clean or wash anything if I don't feel like that.
Mhm. Okay.
It is very good for me. And maybe it's not so good for the cleanness of house. But I don't really care so much. Like, this is where I'm at. Yeah, and I can, if I want something, I can. I've been like pretty good with like following my wishes, but now I can also support myself more into like what are my real wishes. Yeah, not just, but and it's not perfect because yesterday I had a pizza. I think I ate too much of the pizza, and then I felt like I have let myself down because I'm doing the detox program with the food supplements, and
Yeah, and look at where you had that. You started that in your luteal phase, which is your PMS phase, which is a phase where your emotions need to be soothed sometimes by good food like pizza or apple pie that you baked. And yeah, maybe next time you could consider starting that in your follicular phase, which is the phase straight after your menstrual phase when your emotions may be a little bit more balanced. Yeah, that's a great phase to really start new exercise, new healthy eating. If you wanted to quit smoking, for example, quit alcohol, like just anything new habit forming, the best time in your cycle is to do that in your follicular phase. Yeah, where the emotions are stable.
yeah, yeah. And which phase is better for body detox? It's the
Follicular
same
phase. Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Well.
But you started anyway. It's okay. Yeah. And then how did your femininity show up in your everyday environment, do you feel? In the activities you choose to do? Um, yeah.
So I really like this one habit I got from the coach I've mentioned already in 2 videos. So I really like, she said, like when you notice yourself going into the same pattern, stop yourself mid-sentence, mid-action.
Mhm.
So I've got really much better at doing my exercise and my meditation in the morning straight away, and not really like taking that time for myself. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, what else? Yeah, and just like doing what I feel like doing. I have less resistance against going and just doing nothing on the sofa for or sleeping or just watching a TV series because 3 years ago I couldn't do it. Like I had a psychologist and she told me, but you just have to rest. I said, what's rest?
Wow.
Yeah, she said
Wow.
like, oh, it's when you go and sit on the sofa and do nothing. And I couldn't do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is good already.
Yeah, yeah. What an amazing transformation you've had since then. And now you can really go within and go, what do I really need? And with all of your art of feminine practices as well, like, yeah, amazing. And then how in touch do you feel your mum is with her femininity? And that's when I use the words like open, cooperative, sorry, I just lost you on the screen. Nurturing, agreeable. There's some of the words that come to mind. Going with the flow, intuitive. How in touch do you think your mum is with her femininity?
Hard to say, because on the one hand she is open and cooperative, and she can nurture a little bit. She's very, very busy, multitasking all the time. So I think that's more of a masculine, like get things done on time and show up and answer that person and that person. So I feel there is less femininity than there is masculinity in a way. Yeah, that's very sad. Very sad.
And do you see how she has shaped your femininity as you've grown up, do you think?
Yeah, of course. But now when I think of that, she is nurturing towards her partner. Yeah, this is where she kind of is nurturing, and she can be spontaneous and just follow what he suggests and where he wants to go. Yeah. It just hurts me to think of that multitasking, because it's like this time it's really coming up, because I never got, and I'm doing the same thing to my kid, because I never got the feeling that she has time for me to just relax and she doesn't have to rush anywhere.
Mm.
And I'm doing the same thing to my little kid. And this is the feeling I also have with my boyfriend, why I started crying on after the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a rush, rush, rush. But I'm changing that. I'm changing my inner dialogue. I don't say anymore, I don't have time for my kid. I say I have as much time as I need for the things that are important for me.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so yeah, of course it has. I'm basically the same. She came here last Monday when it was the day of synchronicities, and she was all in her work. So I came back from the dance class. The house was in a mess. My kid hadn't eaten breakfast because he refused. She didn't she hadn't made the the tea for coughing for him, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I just realized, okay, this is how I look when I am 100%, because we can be like, I think we both have a super ability to focus
Mm.
and to just like, we don't care. I don't care if everything is falling apart. Like if I'm working, I am working. And I saw her as the same. I'm like, okay, this is me.
Mm.
I don't think she's like, in a way, she is in touch, like at some kind of level, but not that she is like really in harmony. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting observations, and yeah, to keep reflecting on and seeing how her patterns have influenced you as well. Yeah. And then how do you think your relationship with your father affected your attitude towards men?
Oh, that's a good question. So, so my father was a very good father for a pretty long period of time. He was a very gentle person, creative and supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started having problems with alcohol and all these like mania phases and depression phases. And we moved away, and then we moved back, and we moved away, and at the end I divorced. And I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and nobody told me I won't see him anymore, because he was not a resident of Latvia. Obviously, maybe for that reason, he had to go back to, I think, the first, like, Russia, because he was a resident of Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was when I was 12 years old, and I was, yeah. And then my mom found her other boy, like the boyfriend she had when she was a teenager. It's like they became a couple again. And at first we had a good relationship, and then he started, there was a conflict we had, and he started to ignore me, like not talk to me at all, like zero. And at one point I had a date, and this person said, you hate men. And I said, like, why do you think I hate men? And then now I realized that, yeah, I was really scared. I was really scared from men, because one had left me and the other one had hurt me, like, with this passive aggression for a very, he's still doing that to me. Hasn't shifted. And this summer I attended this Art of Feminine Presence training, and there were some men, some conscious, nice men there, and I finally realized that they are no different from us, that there are nice men, and that I can talk about many things there. That was a huge healing moment for me, because all the other men had just hurt me.
Yeah.
Basically, not all, but these two powerful figures in my life. So what was the question? How it has influenced my relationship with femininity?
Or no, your attitude towards saying, like, to the men that you attract into your life as relationships, romantic relationships.
So I didn't feel comfortable with a nice man, like a really supportive man. That was too much, and it was boring for me. Like when we started this relationship, he was like secretive, and I couldn't understand him. I was drawn in, because with many men I felt like they are boring, so nice would be boring for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And then one last question, with all the work that you're doing on your femininity, and with that attracts the masculine, what do you want to attract in your life right now? Like, what's something that you want to manifest in the physical, in the tangible?
But not like not necessarily a partner, right? Not like anything.
It can be anything, but you do have a partner, so
yeah. And he's becoming more masculine, because I'm becoming more feminine. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one thing. Happy relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, and it has already improved significantly. And where I can feel really like supported and held, because now I feel a little bit like we just went to a cafe after the cinema, and I had the urge to ask him, do I pay half of the price? But I don't want to ask that. I just want to be held, and I want him to pay for me full price for wherever. I don't want to pay that. Yeah, I want to feel this masculine support and giving. So that's an important thing. The other thing is a business that's international, and let's say generating 4K per month.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Well, they're grounded into the universe, your wishes. So, yeah, I hope they come true.